Introducing Mr. Money.
Send your money instantly. Top up your airtime instantly. Pay your bills instantly. Airtel Money instantly. Send your money instantly. Safety is guaranteed. It don't matter how far it is. It reaches safe and quickly. Pay your water bills immediately. And also pay for DSTV. Or top up airtime real quickly. Send your money instantly. Top up your airtime instantly. Pay your bills instantly. Airtel Money instantly. Hi, I am Mr. Money, and I bring you Airtel Money, the fastest, safest way to send money, pay bills, top up, and more. With Airtel Money, you can do more instantly.
Airtel Money. Simple, secure, instant.
Apple Max. Take it to the max.
Want to just get out of town with your friends and family? Are you having a corporate getaway and have no adequate transport? Then this here is what you need to listen to. A brand new 35-seater Yutong luxury bus is now up for hire at an affordable and negotiable rate. It comes fully equipped with aircon, TV for your relaxation, music soothing your trip, and DVD players to give you variety. Book now by calling 0955 0966 or 977 844 141.
What makes the new Yo-Yo Chipsy so unique? 100% natural ingredients. Nothing artificial. Just a pure experience of freshness. Chipsy potato chips. We know you'll love them.
Hey girl, what's your name? Let me talk to you for just a minute. Where you live and what you like to do?
Apple Max, baby. You need to give me Apple Max, baby.
Okay, I'm just trying to get with someone real, cause you look so free, so let's chill. Have a drink with a guy like me.
Apple Max, baby. You need to give me Apple Max, baby.
A quality product from Californian Beverages.
Your jungle.
A very warm welcome to Prime TV Main News. To present it, my name is Daniel Tonga. We take a look at what is making the headlines. Tension continues to mount in the Patriotic Front amid mourning. Zambia police denies reports suggesting they were ordered to arrest Edgar Lungu. Street vendors uncertain of their future in the streets after Sata's death. And in foreign news, a DRC minister appeals for calm after unrest. These and other interesting stories right after this. And now the news in detail. As tension continues to mount in the ruling Patriotic Front, some senior PF officials have maintained that there is no confusion in the party. Chiefs and Traditional Affairs Minister Nkanduluo says there is no power struggle in the party as been perceived by some stakeholders. Dr. Luo has since called on PF members and Zambians as a whole to mourn the late president in honor and dignity. Dr. Luo said this in an interview with Prime TV News in Lusaka.
The death of President Michael Sata has revealed the intense confusions that were being suppressed by the PF. Now that the most feared man is gone, it has become apparent among PF members that any of them can ascend to the presidency. It is also becoming apparent that there are camps within the ruling party which needs level-headedness in dealing with the matter. But while many think that there are confusions in the party, some senior PF officials think otherwise, saying there are no problems in the party, accusing the media of exaggerating the whole issue.
I don't think there are any wrangling. You know, sometimes the press exaggerates things because, I mean, I've been following the discussions for the past 3 years where all the time they say there is wrangling in the party, and then sometimes I say, to which party do I belong? Because I don't see that wrangling. I think there's a difference between wrangling and the difference in people expressing opinions. So basically what I'm talking about myself is anybody trying to say they're going to position themselves to become presidents. I said let's wait and bury. But I think what I've seen is the spirit of unity, and in fact I've been mesmerized even by the way the opposition parties have supported this whole funeral.
Dr. Luo further states that those positioning themselves for presidency might just injure themselves in the process, saying people might just decide otherwise.
There's a saying in Bemba which says, "Ukutangira te kufika." So those that they think they are clever, they're already putting this in place. They may just have a shock that when it comes to that day, the people may do otherwise. And in fact, I think that if anybody gets to learn about some of these maneuvers, that actually destroys you completely. Because then people know that you are not sympathetic. All you want is to, hassle for power.
She has also applauded PFR Secretary General Edgar Lungu for showing maturity when he decided to hand over the instrument of powers to Dr. Scott, even when he was rightfully entitled to act as president.
If there was this discussion of saying, let me hold on and things, of course that would have created some kind of discussion because you have dissenting views. And I think that Edgar behaved very, very maturely. And he really, at that moment, provided the leadership that a lot of us are looking forward to, where there's no selfishness. The person looks at the bigger picture. And he was spot on. And for me personally, I think that was, for having been to the School of Leadership, he really displayed the highest qualities of leadership.
It is overwhelmingly clear that Edgar Lungu is enjoying massive support both from the grassroots and PF far and ranks to take over from the late President Michael Sata. Kalan Mchima reporting for Prime TV News in Lusaka.
And the ruling Patriotic Front has defended the party from accusations that it has been sending cadres in the diplomatic service. Immediate past Foreign Affairs Minister Ephraim Lungu has clarified that no cadres without qualifications have been sent in the diplomatic service as been insinuated by some sections of society. Dr. Lungu says the PF has in fact sent more qualified diplomats compared to other governments. Dr. Lungu said this when he featured on a live Prime TV program dubbed The Oxygen of Democracy.
The fact that they belong to a party, to a political party, does not mean that they do not know much. Most of them have even master's degrees. So the fact that they have been sent out doesn't subtract that they are ignorant people. It's not possible. If I availed you a catalog of who is serving where, either during Lubinda's time, Honorable Lubinda's time, or during my time, or during Honorable Sumusa's time, or during Kalama's time, all those people are qualified. Because you see, if we send someone, from example, in Washington as a trade attaché, that person should be able to understand what economics is all about. How do you negotiate for trade? How do you negotiate for goods? How do you, all these things? So to answer you, it is not true that the PF has sent cadres. If anything, we have sent more qualified people than the predecessors.
Zambia Police Service has denied media reports suggesting that they were given orders by the acting President Dr. Guy Scott to arrest Mr. Edgar Lungu. In a media statement to Prime TV News in Lusaka, Zambia Police acting spokesperson Esther Katongo says the reports are unwarranted as they never had such plans as reported by a named daily tabloid. Ms. Katongo explains that the police still have no intentions of arresting Mr. Lungu as he has committed no offense. And Ms. Katongo has clarified that the police command did not at any time receive any orders from Dr. Scott to arrest Mr. Lungu. Ms. Katongo has since announced that they will soon summon PF Media and Publicity Director Brian Hampunda to help with information to track the source of the story. Street vendors have expressed uncertainty over their future in the streets after the death of President Michael Sata. Some street vendors say they will miss Mr. Sata because he used to defend their position to trade in the streets. They say the late Sata was a voice of the street vendors at State House and living without him would be very difficult. They have called for a leader of the heart of Mr. Sata and who will listen to their cry and support them for their businesses in the streets. The street vendors say this after paying their last respect to the late President Mr. Michael Sata at the Mlungushi Conference Center.
People have continued to pay their last respects to the late President Michael Chilufya Sata, and on Wednesday the doors at the Mulungushi Conference Center were open to street vendors. Hundreds of street vendors flocked to the Mulungushi Conference Center for a body viewing ceremony, and emotions were very high. The vendors had indicated that it was sad to realize that a man who stood by them at all times was no more.
Bari ni baloya besu ari ni kalanda wesu fweba mbipana na twikara bwina na tukwata kono tumayanda turekula basata bare turandirako ababashara ababale landa bafunye numaroti basi basata turerira kwema vendesta twishibyo twingaya tukwete ishintiriro na tupanga poste
Tudia bachiririsha sana pali batata besu kwe bati tusunga bwino fwe bana babo mu street benda takwa baba tutuchungana na ngupamo balesho kwe bati benga tufumyamo nomba basata balesho kwe bati mwibafunyamo na bena bati kwatambo afirisho bafirishamo turasunga kwa bana besu fwe bambi turasunga bana banshiwa muri bu street benda wine twadikula mu amayanda twadichita mu efintu fya pisana sana lelo echo tulikwete chiririsha pali batata besu abatushiraba.
It is certain that of all the people, street vendors will surely miss the late president as he defended them, being in the streets, an action that has created much debate, even to date.
Turelomba na bengesa okuti firafine bale tusunga batata bakwata omutima owa firafine bale tusungiramo bakutina bena bakwata okutusunga pantu tuli bakashiwa tapado bunga tuwafuirisha lero mufyashi weso ale tulorekesha hapo ale ishiwo kutaba bana echo ale tubikira pamo nokunduisho kutira tawo na bale kale fifine bale ibombere fifine pantu ale tusunga mutende so turelomba kuba leisa na bena bakwata omutima wa kusunga bakwata omutima wa kuchikuku pantu mumuri fwe wa venda muri ama widozi muri bakashiwa kanshi buchushi.
These behind me are the street vendors from the market of Lusaka who are from paying their last respects to the president that they so much loved. Right now they don't know where they stand because they are selling, they are not known as to who will take up the presidency next. Gwen Wheeler reporting for Prime TV News in Lusaka.
Chieftainess Mwenda has called for enhanced support and strategies in ending early childhood marriages. Her Royal Highness says the fight against early marriages can only be fought if government and traditional leaders sensitize parents and guardians on the negative effects of marrying off children before the right age. She says her chiefdom has a 13-man board member that are involved in door-to-door campaigns in collaboration with Chinkakata District Hospital under the home-based care in nurturing girls withdrawn from early marriages. Chieftainess Mwenda has expressed confidence that with the support from the community, early marriages will be curbed.
We have come up with board members. We've got about 13 board members. And we are covering not only Chinkakata but the valley as well, Chang's area. So we are going, all over now. And not only working alone, but we are working with the hospital. I started home-based care as a nurse when I was working as a nurse at the hospital. So now I've been given another challenge to come up with this girl-child issue, and we shall conquer, we shall do it. And not only here, but we are supposed to go through the entire province, and what we are doing here is going to be replicated throughout the province. But now I'm working in the hospital. I'm a fully fledged community worker. We go door to door and we retrieve some of the children who are married early. And what we are doing here is going to be replicated throughout the province.
We now take our first break. Join us for other interesting stories right after this.
Ladies and gentlemen, introducing Mr. Money! Send your money instantly. Top up your airtime instantly. Pay your bills instantly. Airtel Money instantly. Send your money instantly. Safety is guaranteed. It don't matter how far it is. It reaches safe and quickly. Pay your water bills immediately. And also pay for DSTV. Or top up airtime real quickly. Send your money instantly. Top up your airtime instantly. Pay your bills instantly. Airtel Money instantly. Hi, I am Mr. Money, and I bring you Airtel Money, the fastest, safest way to send money, pay bills, top up, and more. With Airtel Money, you can do more instantly.
Airtel Money. Simple, secure, instant.
Girl, what's your name? Let me talk to you for just a minute. Where you live and what you like to do?
Apple Max, baby. You need to give me Apple Max, baby.
Okay, I'm just trying to get with someone real cause you look so free. So let's chill, have a drink with a guy like me.
Apple Max, baby. You need to give me Apple Max, baby.
A quality product from Californian Beverages.
Potato sticks, freaky fries. Get that awesome crunch.
Welcome back. Southern African Center for the Constructive Resolution of Disputes, SACOD, has applauded Dr. Guy Scott's decision to reappoint Edgar Lungu as PF Secretary General. SACOD Executive Director Boniface Chembe says what Dr. Scott has done will bring about sanity even as the country is in a mourning period. He says in any government setup, it is wise to listen to the voice of the majority if law and order is to be maintained. Mr. Chembe has advised the ruling party and the youths to unite and not to take to the streets and protest over some decisions. He was reacting to the reappointment of Edgar Lungu as the Secretary General of the Patriotic Front less than a day when he was dismissed.
Well, as SACOD, we believe that that was an unfortunate incident in terms of the riots and the outbreak of violence that took place. Obviously, that was spurred by certain actions that were taken in the political arena, and we want to commend the government through the acting president, Guy Scott, for being magnanimous enough and being accommodating enough to listen to others and be in a position to take the right decisions by way of reinstating Honorable Edgar Lungu into his position as a Secretary General. What is important from a SACOD point of view is that there is need right now for the political leadership of the ruling Patriotic Front to ensure that they are as consultative as possible in various decision making, and that they all work together. Everybody in the Republic of Zambia, and indeed the whole world, is looking up to them to provide the right political leadership and ensure that the transition is undertaken in a smooth manner.
Now, 18 countries have confirmed to attend the burial of the late President Mr. Michael Sata. Mr. Sata will be buried on the 11th of November 2014, and 8 presidents will be in attendance. The 8 presidents from around the world will pay their last respect from the 10th to the 11th of November 2014. The presidents that will be in attendance are the Zimbabwean President Robert Mugabe, Joseph Kabila of the Democratic Republic of Congo, DRC, Hifikepunye Pohamba of Namibia, Uhuru Kenyatta of Kenya, Yoweri Museveni of Uganda, Paul Kagame of Rwanda, Armando Guebuza of Mozambique, and Malawian President Peter Wamutharika. From other countries, delegates and vice presidents will be sent to represent them. The Ministry of Home Affairs has confirmed this to journalists in Lusaka. The Zambia Direct Democracy Movement, ZDDM, has called for the immediate resignation of acting President Dr. Guy Scott for issuing what it terms dangerous and alarming statements. ZDDM Vice President Charles Kafumbo says Dr. Scott is ever making wrong decisions that have set the country on fire. He says there is no way that a same person can keep issuing statements and later keep apologizing to the people. Mr. Kafumbo adds that the country is on fire because Dr. Scott and the PF have failed to run the country. He was speaking in an interview with Prime TV in Lusaka. Mr. Kafumbo said this a day after Dr. Guy Scott rescinded his decision to fire Edgar Lungu as PF Secretary General.
What a terrible mistake when the country is mourning its head of state, who is still lying in state, and then he removes the Secretary General. Honorable Edgar Lungu. 24 hours later, he reinstates him just because of his hate and because he's dealing with the cartel. I mean, we will not allow such a thing to happen. And now he's apologizing. So we in the ZDDM are saying Dr. Guy Scott should resign immediately. Not tomorrow, but today. He's one who was not sure of himself. He's put this country, I mean, we are mourning. The head of state, His Excellency, Mr. Michael Chilufya Sata, is still lying in state. He hasn't even buried. He is not even buried. But then he makes such a blunder, putting the country in turmoil.
And now we take our second break. Join us for the last part of our news after this.
Apple Max. Take it to the max.
What makes the new Yo-Yo Chipsy so unique? 100% natural ingredients. Nothing artificial. Just a pure experience of freshness. potato chips. We know you'll love them.
Welcome back now in foreign news. The defense minister in the Democratic Republic of Congo has appealed to panic-stricken civilians in the country's east not to form militia to protest themselves after a string of massacres by suspected Ugandan rebels. Alexandra Lubantando said on Tuesday that self-defense groups could further complicate the already fragile situation around the town of Beni, where as many as 120 people have been slaughtered. His call came as the Congolese army backed UN peacekeeping troops fought rebels of the Allied Democratic Forces and the National Army for the liberation of Uganda for a second day on the edge of the town. Local officials believe the rebels were organizing themselves for another attack on Beni when the soldiers came upon them. And finally, in our news, African leaders are meeting to pressure the Burkina Faso army into keeping its promise to hand power back to civilians within a fortnight after the fall of the president. Lieutenant Colonel Isaac Jida, the interim leader appointed by military, told unions that he would return the country to civilian rule a day after the African Union threatened sanctions if the army did not give up power. The presidents of Ghana, Nigeria, Senegal arrived in Burkina Faso on Wednesday to praise the issue as Canada suspended its aid to the impoverished West African country. The military had filled the power vacuum left by the president, who was forced to resign last week after 27 years in power, chased out by a violent popular uprising that some had likened to the Arab uprising. For these and other interesting stories, we monitored Al Jazeera.
There's been heightened tension in Jerusalem, where right-wing Israeli activists have attempted to storm Al-Aqsa compound. Palestinians also turned up at the site and fought with Israeli police after they were denied entry to pray at the mosque. U.S. President Barack Obama's Democrat Party has lost control of the Senate. Republicans will now take control of both houses of Congress after winning 7 states in midterm elections. Now, this will limit what Obama can achieve in his final 2 years in office. Thousands of people are expected to demonstrate in Mexico on Wednesday over 43 missing students. It follows the arrest of the former mayor of Iguala State and his wife. They both have been linked to the students' disappearance. Suspected Boko Haram fighters are gaining ground across northeastern Nigeria after launching a series of attacks. At least 5 government soldiers have been killed in an assault on Nafada in Gombe State. Fighters are said to have robbed a bank and set fire to the police station there. Security forces in the Democratic Republic of Congo have arrested several men in connection with the killing of more than 100 people. They're being held in the town of Beni in the province of North Kivu. As many as 120 people have been killed in nighttime raids in recent weeks. Rebels from a group called the ADF, who are active in the area, have been blamed for the attacks. West Africa leaders are due to arrive in Burkina Faso for talks with the military over a new transitional government. The presidents of Ghana, Nigeria and Senegal are expected to pressure the army into handing over control to civilian rule. Meanwhile, this dramatic amateur footage has emerged of violent protests in the capital over the past 2 weeks. You can see police firing tear gas at protesters who threw stones and set fire to tires over several days of unrest. The protest forced President Blaise Compaoré to quit and flee to Ivory Coast. And as we end the news, we take a look at what made the headlines.
Tension continues to mount in the Patriotic Front amid mourning. Zambia police denies reports suggesting they were ordered to arrest Edgar Lungu. Street vendors uncertain of their future in the streets after Sata's death. And in foreign news, DRC minister appeals for calm after unrest. And that's just about what we had on our news. On behalf of the entire news crew, this has been Daniel Tonga. Thank you so much for joining us, and bye-bye for now.
Hey girl, what's your name? Let me talk to you for just a minute. Where you live and what you like to do?
Apple Max, baby. You need to give me Apple Max, baby.
Okay, I'm just trying to get with someone real cause you look so free. So let's chill, have a drink with a guy like me.
Apple Max, baby. You need to give me Apple Max, baby.
A quality product from Californian Beverages.
Potato sticks, freaky fries. Get that awesome crunch.
Ladies and gentlemen, introducing Mr. Money. Send your money instantly. Top up your airtime instantly. Pay your bills instantly. Airtel Money instantly. Send your money instantly. Safety is guaranteed. It don't matter how far it is. It reaches safe and quickly. Pay your water bills immediately. And also pay for DSTV. Or top up airtime real quickly. Send your money instantly. Top up your airtime instantly. Pay your bills instantly. Airtel Money instantly. Hi, I am Mr. Money, and I bring you Airtel Money, the fastest, safest way to send money, pay bills, top up, and more. With Airtel Money, you can do more instantly.
Airtel Money. Simple, secure, instant.